Mall of America. For more than 30 years, it has been a retail leader and an international destination, and it remains the largest mall in the U.S. Not to mention, it welcomes millions of guests from around the world. It's huge, but it's also so much more. In this podcast, you're going to hear the real stories of how it started and why it continues to thrive. You'll hear about challenges we faced along the way and what you can learn from them. We will feature guests and experts from all walks of life and business, and along the way, you'll laugh, learn, and maybe even change the way you look at things. So if you're a fan of the mall, a brand new visitor, an entrepreneur, or a dreamer, prepare to dive deep into so much more. This podcast is presented by the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau.
I've seen you 1,000 times in the park, and I think I've confused you 999 of them.
Okay.
Yep. Big fan. Legend. Frank.
Yeah.
This is exciting. This is exciting. Coaster enthusiast.
Very good.
Right? Over 500 coasters?
503 now.
503.
503.
Where did your love of roller coasters come from?
When I was a little Franky.
But
When I was
there's got to
Frank-
be more than that. You didn't just say, I'm little Frank and I'm going to ride coasters. What happened? What started your love of coasters?
To get 503 in,
Yeah.
you might have to start that.
Yeah.
You're born
I know,
and you're
I
riding.
there was a little park down the road, it's not here anymore, called Queen Anne Kiddieland. And they had a little roller coaster there, and that just started it. And I loved it.
When did you start keeping count?
When I joined ACE, the American Coaster Enthusiast, that's when I started counting. So almost 20 years, 1996,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. Do you have
Frank, you inspired me to count how many coasters I've been on. I've been in the attractions industry over 20 years. I grew up riding roller coasters. I'm just over 70, like 72, I think. How do you get 503?
You know the story on that. Are we on right now?
Yeah. So that's we're here for you. We're,
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were
Start of
recording.
the show.
we just go. It's way easier. No pressure.
Well, I joined ACE in 1996, right around there. I just started counting. I hit my 500th this past summer at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Iron Gwazi was my 500th. And I just went on the preservation conference with ACE last month. And that's how I got to 503, because we went to three different parks and rode the new one. Unfortunately, the one we really wanted to go on, which is called Zambezi Zinger at Kansas City, was down again.
Down at Worlds of Fun?
Worlds of Fun.
Yeah. Is that where the meetup was this year? Is that where the ACE meetup was?
Oh, we went to three different parks.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, we went to Adventureland in Des Moines, Kansas City, Worlds of Fun, and then we also hit Lost Island.
Oh, how'd you like Lost Island?
Oh, Lost Island is wonderful. The theming,
Yeah.
out of this world.
It looks
They
good.
have a fantastic dark ride.
Yeah?
Oh my God. Nothing else compares to it. It's like Disney.
Road trip?
I mean, it's not far.
Definitely. It,
Yeah, we'll
it
have to
beats
let
out
you know,
Ghost
Frank.
Blasters hands down.
What?
There's no
Well,
comparison.
Can't be
let's
Ghost
not
Blast.
disparage poor Ghost Blasters. Yeah.
What's the ride you said was down again? You sounded
Zambezi Zinger.
So is that back on the list? Do you have that one on the calendar to go?
I don't have that counted yet.
We got to talk to
are you going to
maintenance.
hit it? Are you going?
I want to.
Yeah, okay.
I can't help it. Was down both times. Number one, it was a prototype, and we went last year, and they were testing it. It was not ready to open to the public, but we did see it run. It looks amazing, and then we were hoping this year we could have gone on it, but they said at the conference that it was down for mechanical issues. So.
Oh, well, we got to find a contact down there and
Right, yeah.
get some assurity that
Exactly.
Frank's got a trip plan, and we got to make sure this thing's running. Well, we know how that goes. You can't predict that maintenance sometimes.
The
so
park
safety
I
first.
looking forward to going that I want to visit but haven't is Lagoon Amusement Park
And where's
in
that one?
Farmington, Utah. It's about
That one wasn't on my
Not on my
list,
list.
Chris.
Yeah.
No, maybe we need to make this one on our list. Why?
20.
Why?
Oh my God, they got the coasters there. Cannibal looks amazing. Looks amazing. Cannibal. Yeah.
Do they have others too? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They have like 12.
Really? That's
It's outdoors.
more than Valley Fair. Sorry.
Oh, Valley Fair. Don't even talk about Valley Fair right now.
Sorry.
If they don't
Sorry,
get
Raul.
something for their 50th
This podcast
in
not brought to you
2026,
by...
if they don't get something in 2026 for their 50th, I'm going to be disappointed. Now, check this out. Lost Island. Next year will be their 4th summer open. They are having a new coaster next year. So that gives them 3 coasters in 4 years. They're getting an RMC single rail coaster, new for 2025.
Podcast brought to you by Lost Island.
That's
It
right,
sounds-
apparently.
Singing their praises for sure.
It's amazing. It's a small park, but
They're
it's
they're
got
doing it right.
potential.
Okay.
It does need more advertising, though, because unless you hear word of mouth of it, you don't even know it exists.
Honestly, I didn't even know that they
And
had
one of the
coasters.
things I do,
More for their water park
Yep.
is my
Yeah.
my
it's
familiarity
right across
with them.
from there.
Right.
One of the things I do in retail is every once in a while zip codes come up, and if they say, "Oh, you're from Iowa," I plug Lost Island when I say, and most of them have heard about it.
All right, I gotta get that contact down there. We've got cross promotion
How many
going
times have you
between
been to Lost
NICU
Island? How many times have you been to Lost
Been there
Island?
twice.
Okay.
Nice.
And so it ranks up there for you.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they got some very, very unique rides of food. Oh my God. For a small park, wonderful.
Which leads to, do you have a ranking? Like, do you rank the coasters? Do you have a top that is your all-time favorite? Or?
Right now I do.
Okay, what is that?
I have my favorite steel coaster was Millennium Force at Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio, the roller coaster capital of America.
300 plus feet tall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I got blown away by going on Steel Vengeance there.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. How long ago did you ride that last?
2 or 3 years ago?
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So that's up at the top for you.
Yep. And then the wooden one, there is nothing
You
like
have them
riding the beast
subcategorized.
Yes.
at night.
You have them subcategorized.
You have to at this
Steel,
point.
wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 500, you
Yeah.
have to have
No, I
multiple
just have
categories.
steel and wood. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
The beast at Cincinnati,
Buddy.
Kings Island,
Buddy, the Beast. That's my favorite.
at night. At night.
Oh, I haven't gone at
See,
night.
this is a subcategory. Now it's daytime, nighttime. Yeah.
My Beast story. So I grew up in Michigan in the summers, and we'd go to Cedar Point and Kings Island, 2 tough parks to beat. So I grew up riding
Yeah, both
coasters
of those
at
parks
both
are
of those
good.
parks. And I was probably 8, and the Beast was new, and I was tall enough to go. I'm a taller gentleman, and I kept shrinking like this under the sign, and my dad would straighten me up. No, you're riding. I was terrified, Frank. I was terrified
Mm-hmm.
to ride the Beast, but it stands as my number one. I still have a Beast shirt, and
How
I
about
need a new
Steel?
one. I haven't ridden that one. I haven't been back to Cedar Point since that's been there.
Well, how
So-
about in general? What's your favorite
a steel coaster? Velocicoaster. I had
Huh?
just ridden that last year.
Oh, yeah.
Velocicoasters.
That was good, too. That's probably my top 5.
Oh, it's good. Good
It's
to know.
really
That's in my
good.
top 5.
There's so many gags in that. Like, it just doesn't slow down. It's so much fun. I love that one. Did you ride Hagrid's motorbike when you were
Yes.
there too? So I rode that with him. And it felt like I was with the coolest babysitter in the world because he was on the motorcycle side and I was in the sidecar side.
Our next trip down to Orlando, Chris, we'll have to switch that up. I'll be in the sidecar,
What am I
but
doing?
Oh, you're only
We-
going on it one time?
together.
Yeah.
I've been one other time. I'm not sure if you've ridden again, but our first ride together, first time riding was with Chris, and we laughed the entire ride.
so
Again, looking at his face in the sidecar, and you've got these motorcycle handles. It's,
Yeah, it's amazing, that ride.
that's something else.
We did Velocicoaster back to back. We were in a situation where we were on it and they let us go again.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah, front car and back car, I believe, is
Yep,
what we did.
that's right.
So that was
Yeah.
an awesome experience. But so, what about favorite park? You've got, I mean, other than
Well,
Nickelodeon Universe,
outside of Disney
Nickelodeon Universe.
and Universal,
Didn't even make the top
Outside
two,
of that.
Brian.
Frank, I get it.
I would say
I get it.
Cedar Point is definitely up there.
Oh, it's tough to beat, especially for a coaster guy. That's coaster capital, like you say. What do they have now? Are they 18, 20?
I don't think they have 20
Not
yet.
quite yet, but they're close.
Magic Mountain
Oh, yeah.
has, I think, 1 or 2 more than they do.
So another one I got to go with Chris to is Magic Mountain. And I guess the downside of working while we're riding coasters is the 2 we went on were Green Lantern
Yep.
and Superman. We didn't get to ride any of the other phenomenal coasters because we were there for work. We were checking out 2 rides that potentially could have fit in Nick Universe. So we literally went in,
Yep.
rode 2 coasters, and boogied out back down to Knott's and
That's right.
some other parks. So
So, question: have you ever done the VR headsets on a coaster?
I am not a fan. Thank you.
yeah,
That is the
I just don't
correct
think what the
answer.
big deal is with that.
It's terrible. It kills the attraction. You know, we
that was the third coaster
that
we
was the
rode
third
there.
one
You're
we
right.
did.
Yeah.
Because there was talk
Where'd
of
you do that at?
that was at Magic Mountain too.
No, I forgot. We did ride 3 coasters.
That's right.
The American Revolution.
Yes.
And they had the VR headsets on there. And another thing we were considering for our park to do an overlay some type with Nickelodeon and maybe put it on Orange Streak. And we rode it. And the only people that were cheering were the ones without headsets on.
Yeah.
2 little girls in the back clapping and screaming and having fun. Everyone else just
Yep. The
sitting with
VR
their
headset folks were just sitting there looking confused.
Again,
Yeah.
not brought to you by VR today.
Not about you. Sorry,
But,
folks.
Speaking of the
I agree.
Revolution,
Do better.
did you know that was in the movie Roller Coaster?
I did not.
The what was it? 1977. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie Roller
I think it's
Coaster.
77.
I have
gotta-
it.
you have it?
I have it on CD.
I'll have to check
made
that
sure.
one out, too.
I made sure I got a copy of that because I really like that coaster. I really like that movie.
That's right. That's fun.
The coaster was great without headsets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without VR sets.
Absolutely. So recently retired. You were here 25 years.
Yes.
What brought you here?
Well, interesting story. When I heard that they were building a mall here with a theme park inside, I said to myself, why are they building a mall that big? I'm never going to be working out there. Well, I defied the odds, and it was one of the better choices that I did.
Yeah,
I really had some good times here.
I believe that. I've seen it
I mean,
over
I
the
like
years.
the benefits, phenomenal for full-time benefits.
Did you start riding rides, Frank?
I did.
And you were Valley Fair before this?
I was
or
at
no?
Valley
You were.
Fair for, I started there in 1989 at Valley Fair when Excalibur was a new ride.
I remember that one as a kid as well, right?
That was a big deal.
Yep. Huge
So-
deal getting a new coaster.
Yeah, and I liked for the most part, I like leadership. And I like the
For the most part,
people
Frank,
that
you're
work with.
retired. Do you want to share?
What?
No, just kidding. Just kidding. No. Yeah, you're done now. Tell us everything. No. But what was it then for you? Was it really just to be closer to coasters and be a part of that
Yes.
since you loved it from when you were a kid?
Yep, it just expanded my interest in it.
Well, Frank, you probably don't remember, because I am one of our worst ride operators we have. They don't allow me to ride or run rides very often, right? But you trained me on Orange Streak.
Oh, God
Do you remember
forbid.
that?
No, I
God
don't.
forbid. It was probably
Oh, my God.
17 years ago. See, I wasn't allowed on there very long.
I did so much training, I don't remember
Well,
everybody.
Frank has trained thousands of people over the years, I'm sure. But I was one of them on Orange Streak. I think that's one ride I could still go down there and run due to your training. It wasn't due to my skills. But yes, you trained me on Orange Streak. And
Okay.
I still have a good recollection of that ride.
I remember some people that I trained, but I don't remember that one. Sorry,
I
Brian.
don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
blame you.
I mean,
Easily to forget.
I don't
the
know how
only
you
one in that
forget
group?
that. Yeah.
Were you the only one in that training group?
No. I was not even in a special group or anything. I had started as retail, working at the general store and making fudge and selling candles and angels and trinkets. And then I got transferred by Mr. Frazier over to the rides manager. So I knew nothing about rides and attractions. And I figured they said, well, someone's got to train this guy. He doesn't know anything. And that was you.
And I got the honor.
You got the honor, or
the short straw.
or the short straw. That's probably more.
Did I do a good job?
You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Like I say,
Did you do a good job?
I passed. I passed. I think due to Frank's training. So there's probably 3 rides in my certification file, and that's one of them. So I probably need to be recerted at this point. Though it's been a while.
This should be your final act. Retrain Brian on Orange Streak just one more time. See if you still got it.
We want you to ease and glide into retirement. We don't want this task at the end here.
So what are you looking forward to in retirement?
Well, I'm just not going to sit home and do nothing.
Of course.
Had a hard time with that when COVID was around. I'm looking at some volunteering work, and I've already started the process on like ushering.
I was going to say,
like
you don't mean coming back to...
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Not coming back for training, because I was going to say we could still use trainers here, but that's not what you had in mind.
No, I need to retire, Brian. No offense. No, I've been really thinking about this since March. Everybody was saying, are you sure you want to go through with this? Are you sure you're ready to hang it up? And I said, yeah. Because last year I had a kidney transplant, and I had to go from full-time down to part-time. And thank God everything went good with that transplant. I would not want to do it again, though.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine.
And I waited 4 years from the time I got diagnosed with the disease until I actually got the kidney in. The first time I was in the hospital for 17 days.
That's awful.
And then when I went in, I was in the hospital for 5 days, and then I had 3 months of recovery.
Okay.
It's not good for roller coaster riding either, kidney transplants.
No.
But now I can. I got the all clear. I don't do anything without what my doctor tells you.
That's good.
You know?
So are there any other parks you're looking forward to getting to right now?
Overseas, I want to go to Alton Towers and ride Nemesis. That's on my bucket list.
That looks amazing.
Nice.
That looks amazing.
Nobody wants to go overseas. I'm not going to go by myself on that.
Sure.
Europa Park? Is that one on the
Europa
list?
Park. Yeah. Europa Park. Oh.
Chris and I might even have some contacts over there, so you have to let us know if you're going. We might be able to make some calls. So let us know. Or if you need 2 guys to go with you, we'll just have you talk to Rich after this is done here.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
What's
Get
the
us a trip.
furthest you've traveled for a roller coaster? What's the furthest you've traveled to ride a roller coaster?
Well, not overseas. Canada. Canada's Wonderland.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We went to Mexico for a wedding, but we were 275 miles away from Mexico City, and I wanted to go to Six Flags Mexico, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah. And how was Canada Wonderland?
Beautiful park.
Yeah.
Beautiful park.
That always ranks up there as one of the top parks, yeah.
In the Cedar Fair Six Flags system, definitely. Beautiful park.
Nice.
Do you have any favorite memories from your time being here? I mean, over 25 years, you've worked with a lot of folks, a lot of guests. I'm sure a lot of your friends from...
Well, I might as well tell you about a celebrity that I had on my ride.
Might as well.
And
it's not training me at Orange Street, so let's move on to celebrity encounters.
This was very memorable to me.
Okay.
And it's going to make you laugh from what I did, because the celebrity was Donny Osmond. Donny Osmond was here at Mystic Lake performing. He came to the park beforehand with one of his sons. Okay? So he just got through riding Orange Streak. Peggy, who should be at the...
Oh, yeah.
She was the one that called me. And I answered the phone. I said, "This is Carousel, Frank here." I says, "Guess who I just had on my ride? I had Donny Osmond on my ride." And I said, "Yeah, I see him in my queue line right now." And it wasn't not a very busy day during the week. So I start scanning him in. Okay, no problem. You're going to ride with yours, because the son needed a chaperone. He says, "Remember, you stand next to him. He's on the figure."
Safety first, man. I don't care if you're Donny Osmond or not. You're getting the rules. I love it.
Okay? So everything was fine. Went around, checked the ride. Everything was still good. When I started the ride, Donnie started misbehaving. And I had to call him out on that. Normally,
Over
you're
the
not
microphone, you did your spiel.
Normally, you're not
Perfect.
supposed to do that, but I had to. He took his child off the figure and holding him. First time.
So now he's surfing on the carousel, basically, not riding a figure. Okay.
So first couple of times it goes around, I don't say anything. The third time I said, okay. I said, without going on the microphone, I said, could you put your child back on the figure? Still would not do it. Okay. 2 more times, he's still holding him. I go on the microphone and I pan him out. I say, could you please put your child back on the figure, Mr. Donny Osmond? He heard that? He heard that, and then he put it back on, but the ride was almost done anyway.
Oh, yeah, he didn't want to make the front news, right? The front page of the paper.
Rule breaker,
So the
Donny
ride's done.
Osmond. Yeah.
I open the gate, and I go around and sweep the ride. Well, I beat him around to the exit gate. And I said, what'd you think of the ride? You know what he said? I really enjoyed your ride, Mr. Frank.
Perfect. He had your name tag, now he dimed you out, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's probably the memory I'm going to have the most. And the Diamond Service Award that I got nominated for.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Huh?
Tell us about that.
Well, I didn't win, but I got nominated for the Diamond Service Award. I don't remember how many years ago. It was at the Radisson South, which is called something else now. And
It's probably 6-7 years ago, right?
I think it might be longer than that.
You
But
had
anyway,
an entourage.
got nominated for that.
Yep.
And I could invite 10 people with me, which I did. We had a table. One of the hot shots, I forgot his name.
Spielman?
No.
Osmond?
The other guy, he arranged to have a limo pick us up at my friend Diette's place. So we took a limo from her place to the Radisson, and then on the way back, we also got it. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember me pulling up in my dirty truck, and here comes Frank in a Hummer limo, if I remember.
Yeah,
right?
it was
the big one.
It was a stretch limo,
People
yeah.
keep getting out of this thing, right? You got 10 people with you, as you should have. That was phenomenal.
One of my sisters went, Diette went, John went.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is a really
And that
cool
was really-
thing, that they do. The
And
Diamond
the
Service
celebrity,
Awards.
they always have a celebrity there. We saw Louis Anderson.
Yes, I remember that.
He was the guest speaker. But it was very, very memorable, very, very nice
That's pretty cool.
to be nominated for that.
Well, you deserved every bit of it, Frank.
Absolutely.
And we only joke and tease with you, at least from my standpoint, because I'm going to miss you. We're going to miss you here for sure. And happy that you're going to move on and travel and do some volunteering and get overseas. If you can take Chris and I with you, you should. And
One
seriously,
catch,
if
though,
you're going
you
to
have
do
to
it.
pay for yourself. I'm not
Of course. There's the
always
rub.
that.
Yeah. No, but Brian's right. We appreciate you. You know, you've always been a shining figure in the park. I'll miss seeing you around there, and you know that's a lot of knowledge to be leaving with you after 25 years, and just your passion and enthusiasm for the
I
coasters
know the
as
park
well.
really, really well. Like,
sure
know,
do.
if they don't, like, I'm selling tickets and they want to go to the Orange Streak and they don't know how to get to it, I tell them exactly, okay, this is where you got to go.
You probably know how many steps it is from Gear Store.
Basically, yeah.
Take 200 paces and go to your left, yeah.
And if they're baseball fans, I tell them about Hyman Killeberg's chair, home plate. I ask them, about the 50-yard line for the Viking Stadium?
Chris put that coin there.
Dan and I put that in there before Super Bowl because there was no football representation,
Great
only baseball.
idea.
That's a fun one. Yeah. But we appreciate your passion and enthusiasm, and just wanted to say thank you for 25 years of being a great advocate. And although Nickelodeon Universe didn't make your top 2, hopefully we can make our way up your ladder.
I've got to get a better coaster in here somehow,
Yeah,
Frank.
it's
I
tough.
get
but in that
demerits
one you
on
were
our
gonna
part.
have.
Yeah, what happened
Tough
to the
to
one
beat
we're going to
Disney
have?
and Universal. Tough to beat Disney and Universal.
Well, keep working hard, Frank.
Yeah.
I'll keep working on that coaster too, Chris.
How
and I
about the
got-
water park?
And that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us on this episode of So Much More.
People are asking about that up at South Mall.
That's good. Keep
Yeah,
their
a couple
excitement
people
going.
actually bought some stuff.
I was going to say, is there any merch left
Seriously?
up there?
Oh, there's plenty.
It's good-looking branding.
But they come
Good
around
fan
and says,
base.
good-looking branding.
what's Mystic Cove? And I tell them,
You say it's mystery.
basically, I tell them
Cove.
it's going to be a water park when it gets done.
Yeah.
And they said, why do you have merchandise? And I just explained the story that you told me about that.
What did I tell you?
Oh, boy.
He said in order
Could've been anything.
secure the copyright to the water park, you had to buy
that's
some
fair.
merchandise.
That's why we do it.
That's fair.
We got to keep that trademark, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, big drink.
Frank, you're
What do
the
you got in the
best.
bottle there?
Oh, my God, yeah. I got thirsty all of a sudden.
So, tell me.
Mouth is kind of dry without my gum. Oh, boy. That's awesome, Frank. Love that you share some of that story. Who took you to your first park then?
What?
The park that was here, I'd never heard of that park, had you? The theme park you said.
Oh, Queen Anne Kiddieland?
Yeah.
Who took you there?
My parents.
They would just bring you down.
It's down. It's not there anymore.
Was it similar to like a Como town or what?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I went to
Those
Como
kind of
Town,
memories.
too.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. There's probably more places you've been than haven't at this point if you've done 500
Queen Anne Kiddieland
coasters.
was just a small little park. It was on 494 and 100.
And for him to mention the theme park that you were most looking for, wherever, Utah, that means you're getting down the list
Yeah.
in my mind.
Yep. Yep.
You got to go to Utah.
Not a lot left. Not a lot left.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Always enjoy visiting, buddy.
Well, thank you, Frank, and enjoy your retirement
Thank
and your
you.
volunteering. And thanks for joining us on this episode of So Much More. For myself and Brian Spielman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of So Much More. If you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you find your favorites, including Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. And you can also watch a video cast on YouTube. Go to podcast.mallofamerica.com to leave a review, ask a question, or give us an idea for the show. Until next time, thanks for listening. So Much More is presented by the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau, the official destination marketing organization for the city of Bloomington, Minnesota. Before your next trip to Mall of America, visit bloomingtonmn.org for answers to all your travel questions, deals and packages for hotel stays, and so much more.